Hello everyone, my name is Konstantin. You know, all my adult life, I was like a machine. Do you know what Groundhog Day feels like? It's when you live out the same day every single day for many years. I had lived it until one day something strange happened. I asked you treat me with understanding. I can get nervous during the story, so I hope for your understanding. I was around 18 at the time, before going off to college. My mom noticed certain anxiety in me, which was understandable because entering college takes a lot of time and effort. I thoroughly prepared for my exams, and I had to do everything to get a scholarship because I knew that my family would not be able to pay full tuition. It was very expensive for us. So when day X finally came, I got ready, got dressed, barely had any breakfast, and had no appetite. But I understood that I needed to eat. I forced myself to eat and went to the exam. Mom had ironed my new white t-shirt and trousers beforehand. Dad wished me good luck and said that it was a bad sign. You cannot wish good luck, otherwise you can frighten it away. Exhaling, I opened the doors and walked into the room. A commission was sitting in front of me. I had no idea how all this happens. I was asked a couple of questions and I answered them brilliantly. And I asked another one and immediately felt my knees tremble. I didn't know the answer and I was being attacked. I felt like I was being crushed and the feeling of nausea came to my throat. As soon as I opened my mouth to say something, I vomited. Dad's phrase, good luck, sounded in my head. I freaked out, shouted that it was bad to wish good luck, and ran out of there. Red, dirty, everyone was shocked. I did not get in, which greatly upset my parents. After this incident, I fell into severe depression. There was nothing worse than not fulfilling your hope of your parents. I closed from everyone and hardly left the room for several months and nothing helped. Mom said that I still had a chance next year, and for now I needed to sort out my mental health. She signed up me for the therapist, Mr. Andrew, and I attended his sessions a couple of times a week. One time Mr. Andrew told me not to come to his office, as usual, but to another place where he has been working for many years. It was a mental hospital on the outskirts of their city. At first, it scared me. Then I decided that if I saw some crazy people there, maybe it would make things easier for me, and I decided to go. As soon as I arrived at the place, a high gate opened in front of me. There was a beautiful area where people walked around. There were men and women, girls and boys, and there were also my peers. I didn't quite understand what they were doing. I saw a girl staring at me. She looked like she was burning me with her eyes. Two more were walking next to her. They all looked alike. These are our triplets. Poor girls suffer from schizophrenia. They hate newbies. They think you are one of them, Mr. Andrew told me. I looked away and went into his office. We went up to the third floor and continued the session. He showed me pictures and asked what I see on them. He diagnosed me with chronic depression and prescribed some medication. The doctor warned that sometimes antidepressants have the opposite effect, more precisely, a side effect. Hallucinations, frustration, I can feel nauseous, etc. I took my meds and went downstairs. I wanted to sit down, pulled out those pills and had one. I had to take them strictly by the hour, immediately. I felt my body go numb, a familiar feeling of nausea rising to my throat. Are you among us now? The girl asked. I got scared. She sat down next to me and took my hand. She noticed my reaction and asked me not to be afraid. My name is Anna, and these are my sisters, Judy and Sarah. We're triplets, she said, pointing at her sisters. The girls surrounded me. One stood opposite me and the rest sat on both sides. I was so tense that I could not say a word. Judy calmed me down, stroked my head, and said that this was normal effect from the pills. Oddly enough, we sat and talked for a while. For some reason, it was very easy to share my feelings. I still can't forgive myself for not getting into that college. I feel guilty before my parents and I hate myself for it. They hoped on me. Unexpectedly for myself, I began to talk about my problems. Sarah said, "It's not your fault. He shouldn't have wished you luck." I was surprised because I didn't mention it. Sarah looked me in the eyes and asked me to get up. The girls invited me for a walk. We went out in the courtyard. With no one there, I stayed silent, and they told me stories about how they lived there. Anna said that they were hospitalized a long time ago because their parents died. They were 6 years old. They were first diagnosed with depression. But this was not the case. Actually, the girls were healthy. They just had nowhere to put them, and so they stayed in the hospital where they would not run away. We walked along the yard, and then they took me inside the building, then into the basement. My phone rang. I wanted to pick up. It was Dr. Andrew, but Anna abruptly grabbed the phone and told the doctor that I was now with them and threw the phone somewhere. They took me into a ward with no one there. gave me water, and then said they liked me. I said I had to go, got up and picked up my medication. Then Sarah ran up to me and asked to sit down. I began to resist her. Then the girls forcibly put me in a chair, tied my hands, and gave me more medicine. I didn't want to take it, but they made me. I felt calm again. My head was spinning. Somehow, my phone appeared in my pocket again. Sarah took it and said that it was my mom calling. I wanted to talk to her so badly, but the girls wouldn't let me. They said that I would never see her again because they stole me. What? What do you mean you stole me? I asked, shocked. Now you have to live here among us. You are the same as we are, the girls said at the same time, and laughed loudly. Their laughter hurt my ears. I wanted to get out. I tried to free myself, but I didn't have enough strength. Then Judy slapped my face. I shouted, "Help! I was kidnapped!" But no one heard me. Time there dragged on endlessly. I was hungry, thirsty, very tired. It seemed like 3 days passed. I was still tied up amongst these girls. Somewhere far away, I heard my mother's voice and wanted to hug her. On the 4th day, I cried violently. Sarah gave me medicine again, and my head was spinning. "Why do you need me? For what?" I asked them. The girls said that they would treat me. But that was funny, wasn't it? How can they treat me when they are sick themselves? I asked for food, water, and bathroom, but they said that I was wearing a diaper, so I could use that instead. What? What? I don't wear diapers. This is nonsense. Let me get up, I shouted. "Son, it's okay. I'm here. Do you hear me? Everything will be fine," Sarah spoke suddenly in the voice of my mother. Half conscious, I raised my head and saw my mom in front of me. She stood nearby and cried. I did not understand what was happening. "Mom, help. These drugs there. I have hallucinations. I was kidnapped. I didn't pass the exam," I said abruptly, but my mom continued to cry. "Dr. Judy, call Sarah and Anna. We need to give the guy a sedative. He's out of his mind again," someone said. "But what is this? They're sick. They're not doctors. How can they treat me? Mom, are you with them on this?" I asked anxiously, but my mom came up to me, and I finally saw the room. I was no longer in a chair, but lying tied on the couch in a ward, with my mom and dad standing above me, and the crazy people who stole me were up to something. "Dr. Judy will take care of you, and this is Mr. Andrew's student. They're good doctors. You will be cured," my mother told me. "Son, you lie still, and we will come soon. Good luck to you," my dad told me. Oh no, he wished me luck again. I turned my head and saw how they injected something in which I fell asleep. I was in treatment for a month. After the exam, I had a nervous breakdown, after which I admitted to the hospital. I was looked after by 3 doctors, Sarah, Judy, and Anna. They were sisters, as they assured nobody stole me. Well, who knows what the actual truth is, right? If you liked the video, then press the like button and leave us some comments. Don't forget to subscribe.